Roads are made for journeys, not destinations. So it's fitting that on our journey to create a complete gaming table consisting of these 12 by 12 centimeter tiles, we are literally starting to pave a brand new road. Creating roads for the tabletop can be a tricky process, especially if you're aiming for a more natural and integrated look. You can either make a few road terrain pieces that simply sit on the surface, which in my opinion doesn't look that great, or build dedicated road tiles, which are arguably less flexible. Of course, there are other approaches and ideas, but in the end, they usually fall into one of these two categories. In my last episode, I built a set of 9 individual tiles that can be arranged however you like. Of course, the surface they cover isn't enough for even the smallest skirmish games, but building these 9 tiles brought me so much joy that I wanted to dive right back into making more to expand the set even further. So with that said, let's get the show on the road. The basic setup starts with the same method I used in my previous video. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. In short, it involves a magnetized 1 cm thick EPS sheet glued to the surface of a pre-cut MDF tile. This setup gives the tile a sturdy base and allows larger pieces like these trees to be added. The wooden base provides a solid anchor and center of mass, making the pieces much more stable. But first, let's look at our inspiration. As before, I'm using the environments in Elden Ring as a template. For this particular build, we'll focus on the roads found in the Limgrave starting area. Dubbed the Gold Road by the community, this road has a unique look. Each tile features an elaborate rune carved into it and appears to be made from stone interwoven with small gold veins. For the stone tiles, I use 1.5 by 1.5 cm cork bricks made from 0.6 mm thick sheets. As I've mentioned several times, I'm a huge fan of cork as a material for bricks or tiles made from stone. However, if you prefer XPS, you can definitely use that instead. After cutting the cork bricks, I removed a 6 cm wide area right in the middle of the tiles. This will be our road bed. I covered that area with PVA glue and added the cork tiles, which I had previously sanded down a bit to give them a much more natural look. As a nice side effect, you can save the chunks that break off when sanding the cork. These are great for miniature stones. With the tiles in place and the PVA fully dried, I began adding extra details to evoke the lands between. This mainly involved adding these walls. I used these thicker cork pieces that I found as caps on spice jars to carve posts to cap each wall segment. The walls themselves were made with foam board, covered of course in cork bricks. Next, I applied air drying clay to create smoother transitions between the EPS and the cork, and to cap off the open areas on each side of the road. This approach has 2 benefits, one aesthetic and one very practical. The practical benefit is that it allows me to add grouting in a very lifelike way. I mixed tile grout with a bit of fine sand and applied it dry, without any glue or water, into the gaps between the stones. Applying PVA glue cleanly in these tight spaces is nearly impossible, and this method lets me easily clean up any excess grout. Once I was happy with the distribution, I dusted the road with isopropyl alcohol and applied watered down PVA to the gaps. The combination of glue and grout results in a very strong bond and an attractive finish. The aesthetic benefit of capping off the ends with air-drying clay is that it makes the tiles much more versatile. The road doesn't abruptly end at the tile's edge, but gradually transitions into a natural surface. This gives you much more flexibility when assembling a gaming surface. Before adding texture to the ground, I covered the walls and waystones with the sand and grout mixture I mentioned earlier, adding a bit of water, PVA and brown paint. After applying it, I made sure to wipe away any excess from the stones. This method offers an alternative way to grout your stone structures, which is especially useful for vertical surfaces. To complete this step, I added sand of various grit sizes and then moved on to the next step, painting. If you've watched my previous video about my tileset, you probably know most of the upcoming steps. But if you haven't and like what you see here, please check it out. If you want to see more of this project, leave a like and a comment. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next adventure in Lenric's realm. You can also join my Patreon if you like to support me in making more videos like this. On Patreon you get behind the scenes updates and early access to upcoming videos. In fact, I'm excited to welcome TW as the newest member of the Lenric's realm Patreon community. Thank you for your contribution and support, and welcome to Lenric's realm. The only real new aspect of this project is the stone tiles. To make them resemble their counterparts in the lands between, I started with the greenish-grey base coat. After that I used Vallejo's metal color gold to add small gold highlights. Don't worry about being too precise here, you can easily course correct later when adding more highlights. After the obligatory brown wash, I mixed the dark green-grey with Vallejo's light green-blue in incremental steps, gradually adding more of the latter. These layers were then applied from the darkest to the lightest shade, focusing the lighter colors on the most exposed edges and highlights. It's essentially the same approach I used when painting the rocks, just with a slightly different hue. And after adding all the greenery, which again you can find more information about in the first video of this series, these roads were ready for journeys across the realm. And here they are. I'm extremely happy with how they turned out. I admit I didn't bother painting a rune on each tile. I'd probably still be painting them if I had. But even so, I think this road has miles of character. What do you think? Thank you for watching. As always, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Sharing this video also helps immensely. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you're interested in more Elden Ring inspired content, check out this video right here. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and until then, farewell, fellow adventurers.